I'm Marlene Barr. My maiden name was Bielenberg.
And I'm John Barr, and we're husband and wife. We've been members in Emmanuel since sometime in the 70s, maybe about 40 years or so. We moved to Ypsilanti because I wanted to go to law school, and Marlene was teaching at that time. Why did we come to Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Ypsilanti? Well, we looked at different Lutheran churches here. We were both Lutheran. And for some time after we came to Ypsilanti, we didn't attend very much. Then we had children, and we had 3 children quite close together. And my father-in-law, Marlene's wonderful father, lived in Detroit, and he would come on Sundays, and he would take our children to Sunday school at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And so gradually we started coming also. Well, the strength of Emmanuel Lutheran Church there's a lot of strengths for Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And for the outside view, of course, it's the wonderful facility, the church home, the church building, wonderful building, and the educational wing. And the inside is very inspiring. So it starts with that. And then over the years, we've had some wonderful pastors. And then, of course, the people.
Thinking about my faith, the prayer chain here is a very strong part of it. The prayer chain works because Linda Wilbur takes the requests for prayers that need to be continued, and she sends them out on email, and also puts them in the Sunday bulletin and on for the congregation during the church service. It is continued.
What really impresses me, what drives me, helps me with the church is the support of families. And I think I said that our children were very involved in Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And that's part of my faith, that I believe that Martin Luther was big on education, and he felt that we had to have educated Christians. And then my faith is buttressed by coming to church, coming closer to God, hearing the sermons, singing the songs, hearing the hymns, being with other people in the Eucharist. Marlene said we were both Lutherans when we met. We were brought up in the Lutheran faith, and we were married in the Lutheran Church. And I believe we are blessed, both Marlene and I. And the Lutheran tradition, I think, has a lot to do with that, and having a strong anchor and connection to the Emmanuel Lutheran Church has helped us in our life and our marriage. Stewardship is important for Emmanuel, for any church. And when we talk about stewardship, what we're talking about is supporting the church, supporting the institution, supporting the theory of the church, supporting the outreach of the church. And a church is in some respects a business, because it has to have a physical presence, it has to have a structure, it has to build the structure and pay for it, the heat and the lights. It has to have employees, it has to have a pastor, and it has to have an organist, and it has to have a secretary and different people working for it. And then the church also has to support other agencies and so on. And so the church cannot draw money out of the air. There has to be a way for the church to have that money come in. And so I think all churches struggle, because it's easy to come to church, but it's not always so easy to support the church. And when Marlene and I have been here at Emmanuel, I think we've had 8 different pastors. And in my lifetime, I think I've lived through, I just counted them up, I think I lived through 16 different presidents of the United States. Long time. And some of them are okay, and some of them are not so okay, and so on. But one of my favorite presidents was a young guy, John Kennedy. And John was young and energetic, and he was tried to move things forward. And one of the things that he said in a speech, I'm not sure if it was on the steps of the Union at U of M, I think maybe it was.
Yes, it was.
But one of the things that he said that resounds so much with me, I think of it often, is he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And I think that same sentiment should be used in the church. We come to church, we want things from the church, but I think the proper position is, what can we do for the church? What can we do for stewardship? What can we do for our faith and to honor God? And so I think if we use that as our motto, the stewardship comes pretty easy. Maybe it isn't easy, but at least it's clear that we have to volunteer. We have to, when asked to join a committee or serve on council, we have to step up and say, yes, here I am, Lord, I will do it. And we have to understand that the church needs not only our help that way, but it needs our financial help. And so we have to reach in our pocketbook and send some money to the church to keep it going. That's what I think about stewardship. I think we're on an upward path, and I think we're doing great things.
Emmanuel's role in the Ypsilanti community has really expanded, and I'm so proud of it. It's still serving food on Wednesdays and Thursdays without question to people who need it. Of course, the close closet has continued all these years, which is wonderful.
In addition to all of that, Emmanuel has a community presence, and I'll give you a couple of examples. Emmanuel agreed to be a voting precinct place for the city, and Emmanuel made its facilities available for the community choir and supports the community choir. Emmanuel has participated in the 4th of July parade and has had a couple of parishioners that have been mayors of the city, and there's quite a connection between Emmanuel and the city. Emmanuel is the Evangelical Lutheran Church, and evangelical kind of means like evangelism, and I think that it's helpful if, as we go through our daily life, if we can remember that, and we always want to encourage people to come and hear the word. Marlene, we go to a Saturday morning meeting most Saturdays, and at the close of it they ask for announcements. So my lovely wife Marlene is always inviting people to come to worship at Emmanuel Lutheran Church.